right, moving on with the war here, and going into California. Good thing for Kearney. While he was marching his way to California, the people, the Americans who were living there, had already kind of heard that he was on their way, and they knew that the war was going on. So they took matters into their own hands and started attacking all of the Mexican government people there. And this was going to become known as the Bear Flag Revolution because super originality. The flag that they used and flew during the revolution had a bear on it. I know, really stupid. But anyway, um, the Mexicans couldn't really control them, and the revolt was very successful. By the time Kearney gets to California, um, there isn't really much Mexican resistance there because a lot of the American settlers had already taken care of it. And if you guys are wondering, wait a minute, California, I've seen that flag before. That's because that is the current California flag. And notice it's got a bear on it. So it's kind of a nod to those rebels that took it from the Mexicans. Kind of weird how we're celebrating a bunch of rebels and thieves. America. So this is where we can seal the deal and capture California. You could see these blue lines down here. That is Kearney marching towards California. Polk was a little nervous. I wasn't sure if Kearney was able to do it him by himself. Sorry. So we sent another guy by the name of John C. Fremont, which you can see him marching up to Northern California. And he is also going to be met with this naval force here, led by a guy by the name of Robert F. Stockton. So you have the U.S. Navy and two giant forces of American armies meeting in California. Now, these three commanders are eventually going to join forces. The first one is down here, the Battle of San Pasqual. That is going to be right near the modern day city of San Diego, California, which is super awesome if you ever get a chance to visit it. It's great. The Americans capture San Diego on December 6th, 1846. And then afterwards, they make their way up north. A month later, in January 8th, the Battle of San Gabriel. That will eventually be right near the modern day city of Los Angeles. So, with these two victories here, two really small battles, America is able to successfully capture California. You can see there's a little portrait of the Battle of San Pasqual, some Mexican army people impaling some Americans there. So, some pretty rough battles here. And here is the Americans charging in with the Battle of San Gabriel. So basically, both of those major battles is going to seal the deal, and California now belongs to the Americans. And now it's time to go after Mexico by getting right deep into their territory. So we are going to invade in 1847. So the first big battle we have is going to be at Monterey, which is right down in that area. And you're going to see this blue line here. This is a guy by the name of General Zachary Taylor. He's going to march his troops down, cross the Rio Grande River into Mexican territory, and he's eventually going to defeat the Mexicans in the Battle of Monterey, which occurs from September 21st through the 24th in the city there. And what happens is it's a pretty intense battle because it's happening in the city. So you can imagine if you're an American soldier, you're marching through the towns and you're looking up at second and third story windows, and there's Mexican army rebels popping their heads out and shooting at you. A really, really, really messy battle. But eventually, after 4 days of intense fighting, the Americans will claim the city and victory.